Hello.
Hey,
How are
Big
you?
Lee, welcome everyone to Big Lee Little Nathan.
I knew you would, straight away. Yeah. We need to work on an intro. We're getting there. Okay, alright. We're all set up.
So, does everyone like my new camera angle? Not seeing up my nostrils.
Oh yeah, you can tell them. What
Does
have you
it
done?
work? Well, I've got a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Invested.
that can be me. I've got I've invested, because I'm so invested in this podcast. I've invested £1,200 in a beautiful laptop. It's made by the great people of Asus. It's a Zen book. A Zen book.
I was about to say, why don't you show us?
I can't really show you, can I? 'Cause I'm fucking on the cunt.
I realised that.
Is my lighting okay?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yours is better than mine anyway. I'm just like, I've got a little halo above my head.
I'm on some.
Oh.
I mean, I always pray to you. I've got like some a shitty LED bulb that only works off a power pack, which is just running out right about now. So that's great. Yeah, I'm only joking. I've got 2 bars. So, how's your week been?
Lots of steps, lots of walking for work. Had an MRI today as well. I'm saying it like I haven't just told you 2 minutes ago.
MRI, how do you spell that?
TQ.
I think I fucking said that same joke in the last podcast, or the one before, like last mine in your podcast.
You probably did, to be honest. But yeah, waiting for results on that. 2 weeks, and I should find out whether they need to operate.
What was the MRI for, if you don't mind?
Oh yeah, it's I was going to try and think of something really funny on the spot, but it didn't happen. No, it's for my lower back, so it's to see the discs, which ones are bulging, basically, or slipped, or whether they are or not.
Or not. I hope they're not. That's a slip disc is rather shit.
Yeah, it's most likely slipped, and it's going to be, well, usually they'd send you for, see a chiropractor, see if they can do it without going to surgery. But I've been seeing a chiropractor for like 3 to 4 months now. So
what about physio? Would they recommend physio?
Physio's the step before chiro, I think. And I've done similar stuff already. Like I've done physio stuff originally, and then I went to chiro because that's more on the joints to see if they could do something, and it's not worked. I've had sports massages and everything, so they tried to loosen all the muscles around so it's all relaxed in the area. But
thing is, it's not muscle, is it? It's once you slip a disc, it's something to do with the
vertebrae, is it?
Between the vertebra.
Yeah, so
something to do with it. The capsule that holds the synovial fluid, that splits, doesn't it? And then it leaks the synovial fluid out.
Exactly.
And then bone rubbing on bone. Am I right?
Well, kind of, yeah. So obviously we don't know what it's going to be, but as you're saying, the 2 bones with a little squishy bit in the middle. Perfect scientific description. That little squishy bit is potentially it's bulging out and pressing onto the sciatic nerve, and that's what's causing the pain down the leg and the limp, making me look like I'm 70. But yeah, we move.
Thing is, I've got all these back problems. I thought, when I said I did my back at work, and I think we spoke about this on an earlier podcast, maybe our first one, when I was throwing a bag through my job, throwing a bag of clothes into the back of a van. That's what I thought it was, a slip disc, but I'm starting to think it's probably I was being a bit dramatic.
Maybe. Well, is the pain still there?
It still hurts me today in say when I'm turning over in bed. I'm cold, I've been asleep. I turn over in bed through the night and it twats me back. It's not too bad once I'm warmed up. It's not too bad at all. I could probably. I'm more than certain I could lift weights. I'm more than certain I could do jiu-jitsu.
How long ago was it that you did it? that you first got the pain? Because when we've been going to like the parks and stuff, you were doing like flips over the benches and stuff. So
yeah, when was that? Did we do that in between the lockdowns? Because that's when I did it, in between the lockdowns. I know I did flips and stuff before lockdown. Before, like, don't forget, I think time's flying. Because of lockdown, I feel like it's going quicker than what it should anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when it was now, actually.
Because we've been in lockdown since just after Christmas. Because I know I couldn't go to my mate's party at Boxing Day.
That was for the third lockdown, wasn't it?
Third one, yeah.
Yeah, because
there was a gap in between lockdowns. The second lockdown, the kids could go to school until it finished school, say 5 days or something before Christmas. So like the 20th, around the 20th.
Yeah, you were doing flips in September time.
September.
Yeah, pictures on Instagram. So that's when that was.
It's before the second lockdown then, isn't it? Yeah.
Eat alcohol pods now.
I'm pretty confident I could do somersaults now.
Go on then, right now.
So I am having a bit of Dutch courage. Chances are, I'm confident I can do them. My body will probably tell me otherwise.
I've noticed you started drinking out of your 21 mug as well.
That's because I'm trying to limit my drinking, and I'm mixing it with Z lemonade.
Ah, how old's that cup now? Is it like 15, 16 years since your 25th?
Right, there's a story about this. It says 21 on it.
Yeah. And
I got this for my birthday yesterday.
Keep dreaming.
This is I found this at work, basically.
Oh, so it wasn't even for your 21st?
Oh, no. I don't even think they made cups back then. So, we've got the big fights coming up this... do you want to recap? Last week, you wasn't here. You was having a foursome, and we had the beautiful, gorgeous, marvellous, very opinionated Lee Quinn on the show.
Little Lee. Demoted.
Is he the little Lee now? Because I'm Big Lee.
Yeah, it's the way it's got to be.
So we had Little Lee on the show, Little Lee Quinn, and he gave a... I mean, he knows his MMA, UFC. He's a fan.
He knows a lot more than me. I think, as far as like detail goes, I think you guys... Well, it showed 2 hours instead, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did a good 2 hour show. He's quite a good analytical person. He's quite an in-depth thinker of anything, not just UFC. Yeah. My only criticism of him, do you
want to be seeing criticisms on here?
Well, I mean, he's I suppose I would have liked to have talked more during the podcast, but he sort of like he would have he kind of took over, which I don't mind. He's the guest, you know what I mean. He's the guest, so you know, I'll let him. I'll let him talk. You know what it's like. You respect the guest. So and he helped me out last minute, which is, you know, the guy's a beautiful guy. I love him. I love him to bits. Right, me and Little Lee Quinn, we're like a fucking old married couple. So we'll like in not on the podcast, but like in real life, we'll fucking bicker like crazy. We proper bicker with each other. But like that's what I'm saying. We're like an old married couple now. We've known each other a few years. I think we've known each other a couple of weeks longer than I've known you. I've known Lee Quinn.
It's got to be more than weeks.
Maybe months. Maybe a couple of months. It's definitely not a year. Or it might be a year. No,
it's got to be like that because you were...
It might be a year, yeah. It might have known only a year longer than I've known yourself.
Yeah, because you were on and off with Wing Chun, and that's obviously where we met. Is that where you met Lee as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met Lee at at our martial arts class, and it was he started a couple of literally about 2, 3, 4 weeks before I did. I can't remember the exact time. Leo probably remember better than I would, because obviously he knows how long he did before I joined.
Well, when I started the martial art, you were on the second board, because I remember distinctly you being able to do number 5 of, I can't remember the names of all the moves now, but it was the ones from the 2 punches, and it was like there's number 5. It's like, I can't remember, but I remember you being able to do that one, and that was where I was like really impressed at the martial art, and that's what made me want to carry on doing it, just so I could do that.
Right, here's a question. Right, before we get into all the UFC stuff, which we will get to, don't worry, fans. Don't worry, our millions and millions of fans. We are going to come to that. What do you think is the best martial art? If you could only learn one, I know MMA doesn't count as a martial art because it's a mixed martial arts. It's a mixture of all, and that's probably what you do need to get far in martial art career at the moment. What do you think is the best martial art to learn if you could only learn one? Apart from Wing Chun, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Wing Chun's got to be number 1. I mean,
if you've seen Ip Man, you'll understand. Have you even watched Ip Man actually?
I've seen all 3.
Yeah.
And the extra one that they did with a different actor that wasn't done again.
Yeah, and I think if you watch that, that's why I think everyone wants to learn Wing Chun. Like, that's the reason why. And then you realise it's actually real life, and no one can actually do that, except for your instructor, maybe.
I tell you why I mean, I did a lot of jiu-jitsu before Wing Chun, and I tell you why I went to Wing Chun, because there was so much online stuff. I'm a midget. We all know that.
Yeah, it's a small people martial art, isn't it?
It's small. Yeah, I was told it's a small people martial art. The midget can beat the giant, and so I thought, you know what, give it a go. What have I got to lose? And I donated 2 years to it, and my analysis of them 2 years is it's a load of shit. I've got to be honest. I love the instructor, and I've met you there, and I met Lee there, and I met Davey there, and I love.
Yeah, that's all got to be put to the side though, because you know, if you want to analyze a martial art, it can't be about the people who are there, can it?
No. So let's talk about it, Marshall, from taking feelings out of it, of what I feel, because I'm happy I went there.
Yeah.
But taking feelings out of it, I feel it's not the most efficient martial art you can do.
No, even though the rules in it are like a 1, 2, 3 and the fight's done sort of thing, realistically, I think you could probably handle yourself if you're against someone who has no. Oh yes, it's feeling like a wheelchair.
It's 10 years old.
No, I mean, like, I think you could handle your own in a situation if you up against someone who's got no prior martial art knowledge and they're just doing it because they've had a few drinks. Possibly. But because it does teach you the fundamentals, and also I think any martial art where you face punches being thrown at you regularly, you just become more acquired to it, and you can expect it. Like, it's not as much of a shock.
And you can see it a bit more slower. Once you've been punched like 1,000 times, you can see the shock coming in then, can't you?
Yeah, and you can just, like, you get a general feel for it. It's not as scary, you could say. You know, just like if you go into a full contact sport and you start doing that in training full contact, it's not as scary. Whereas I've never done full contact. I've only ever done touch. So if I was to go into a full contact fight, I would just be out of it straight away because I wouldn't know what to expect. I've never been hit full on in the face with a head guard or not. Do you know what I mean? And I think you need to experience that.
Did you get to do the head guard stuff?
Yeah, but it was still it was what's the
head guard and gloves?
Head guard gloves, but it was just touch contact. So you'd hit to touch, not to actually hit, which was a bit stupid because, in fact, Well,
The head guard on it's probably a bit stupid, but I'm quite a big fan of the the sparring that we do, where it's just touch and knock out, not try to fucking take the head off, and not get carried away.
yeah, I think it just has its downside if you don't learn how to hit with full power all the time. Like I've only ever learned to punch and stop. So if I was to be throwing punches, I don't know what it's like to follow through hitting a person as such.
Yeah, it is different because you obviously you're punching lighter, and you're that little bit faster. You keep your energy a lot more. I notice when you spar harder, you lose your energy a lot quicker because obviously you're putting more into your punches. So you do lose your energy a lot quicker, yeah. Whereas the sparring we did in Wing Chun was always light, so I thought I was a stamina king.
Yeah, you kind of just well, you go in with the flow in the sense there's a lot of flow and technique. It's a very I wouldn't say dance martial art, but you are doing it in like a sort of a dance fashion.
But it's not good against other martial arts. Wing Chun's sick against Wing Chun, and it looks amazing, and probably good against all these other, Chinese martial arts.
Yeah, there it is good.
But when you come to these even Bruce Lee, he turned around and says, somebody that's done boxing, Western boxing, not about our boxing. So someone that's done boxing for 1 year can beat a lifelong martial artist.
On that note, because I actually don't know, is the story of Ip Man in the films true story or not? Is it based on?
I think it is definitely based on a true story. Yeah, I don't know where they've exaggerated. I don't know. I wasn't alive back then.
Yeah, I'm just curious if he ever took on the Western boxer, like he did in the film. Do you remember is it the second one when it's not Ip Man originally, it's the main martial art guy, the large guy, and then he ends up basically dies in the ring, and then Ip Man takes him on and basses him.
Well, that was like some fucking Rocky shit, wasn't it? Number 2. Number 1's the best, and it like tells the backstory, but then like when he goes into all that, it's like fucking Rocky, fucking the guy dies and he fucking wants to avenge his death and all that. It's a bit like Rocky, and then like number 3, I don't know what the fuck that was on about, but still, they're good movies, and I feel like it was an half decent representation, because like the boxing fight that when he was against the boxer, it was his toughest fight. He sort of like did get beat up the most in that fight, didn't he, Mr. Ip Man?
Yeah, definitely. I've just Googled it as well, and it says that the film Ip Man is not an entirely true story, but it's like loosely based on the guy. Yip Man is his actual name.
YIP.
Yeah, and he's the first grandmaster to teach Wing Chun, and then obviously became Bruce Lee's teacher, which is partially where his fame came from.
Yeah. Okay.
But kind of we spun off a bit then, because the question you asked me was,
what's the best martial art?
Yeah, so
definitely not Wing Chun.
No, I would probably say for versatility and practicality, like as a whole, it's got to be, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, the likes of what you're doing, just because it cuts to the chase. And I think as soon as you touch the floor, you're in your element.
Yeah, they equate it to imagine trying to have a fight with a shark in the ocean when you don't know how to swim.
Yeah, I could kind of see where that's coming from. I wouldn't know what to do if I was on the floor for a second. I used to do groundwork, but not enough. If
you don't know jiu-jitsu and you go against a jiu-jitsu practitioner, you still got the puncher's chance. Like, did you watch the first UFCs? I think this is what made Brazilian jiu-jitsu famous. But the first jiu-jitsu's where Royler Gracie, he won the is it Royler? I'm pretty sure it was Royler. Anyway, we won at Gracie's anyway. He beat a boxer. Who was his first one he beat? I'm sure he had someone before.
I'm not sure.
We're going back to like UFC 1. We're in like UFC 200 and odd now. But he beat a boxer. He beat a karate guy. Did he beat the karate guy? Yeah, he beat the karate guy. He beat Shamrock. Do you remember Ken Shamrock?
I don't recognise any of these.
WWF wrestler and a UFC fighter.
I didn't think WWF ever went against real fighters because I thought it was all make believe.
As well.
Shamrock did.
Shamrock did.
This is a bit before my time.
Brock Lesnar became the heavyweight champion, and he was like a WWF champion as well. The only one that didn't really do that good was CM Punk. He had 2 fights in the UFC and got like kind of battered. I think I'm going to level with you here, you know. I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the best martial art to have if you're only going to learn one.
Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu does have its drawbacks, like in my opinion.
What do you think?
Say against two, if you're going against 2 opponents, you don't want to be on the floor getting kicked in the head while fighting one opponent.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I never really thought about that. If it's multiple people, groundwork isn't where you want to go. You want to be putting everyone else on the ground and staying on your feet.
I say the best martial art. I mean, the best martial arts for the street is probably your boxing and your wrestling.
What's is it Krav Maga?
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga, that's it. What do you think of that? Because I've heard good things about it for its aggression over. I don't know so much about technique, but I know it's a very aggressive fighting style.
See, I've met some. I've not met some. Well, yeah, I've met some Krav Maga people that can fight, and I've met some that, and I've met some that can't.
See, that's another issue when you're assessing a martial art. If you've never done it yourself and you're going off people you've met that done it, if they're not a master, you know, if they're not in a position where they can be an instructor, and even then, you can't always go off what they show because they might not be an accurate representation. I've seen some black belts in martial arts in the past which really just are an embarrassment to that martial art, and they've got it through paying for it and just being there for too long. Like, some people shouldn't. It should be skill based, not money based. But well, like if you go into like the karate, that's just been overrun with money hungry instructors over ones actually wanting to teach a fighting style that's worth learning.
I think karate is good.
Oh yeah, there's loads of them like Shotokan and stuff like that, but there's also a lot that just aren't.
There's a couple in the UFC karate guys. And people that started karate. But basically, all this stemmed from Japanese jiu-jitsu. The striking from Japanese jiu-jitsu became karate. The takedowns and grappling from jiu-jitsu became judo. And then the ground game, the Brazilians took the ground game and made it Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So a lot has come from the
it's
Japanese.
Like the holy trinity. You want to learn them all, all 3 types.
The only thing I'd say, yeah, if you get a good Japanese instructor, then yeah, you could be quite the fighter really, because you'd be good at all of them.
Yeah, I guess it also comes down to your physical ability. You can learn all the martial arts in the world, but if you're not physically built for it, you're just not built for it.
Well,
you know, if you're not a fast learner and stuff like that,
well,
not everyone can do it.
I was just about to say, it's a mind game as well, isn't it? And it depends what you gravitate to. I gravitate. I mean, I do the Thai boxing, I do the boxing, I do the. Well, yeah, they're the only 2 that I do. And I've done the Wing Chun. but I gravitate to the wrestling and the grappling. I gravitate to the grappling, which is the wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Like I pick wrestling techniques up rather quick, and I can implement them rather quick in a sparring session. And the same as jiu-jitsu, I pick that up quick, and I can get that off in sparring. Whereas, do you know what never comes up in sparring?
Wing Chun.
I was gonna say, remember that Wing Chun we did?
Yeah, I can see that as well. Like, it's too what's the word? Like niche. It would work well if someone's throwing the type of punches that you've learned to block and stuff, because the way it basically teaches you that the straight punch is the fastest route. Therefore,
it punches like that, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no one does these days. But then obviously the theory is if anyone's going to throw any other punch than that, that punch is going to be faster.
Yeah.
We've
seen that a bit, didn't we? In the last Usman fight.
Yeah, I think I recall. Yeah. Usman
against Burns. Usman won. He was a slower fighter. Say Burns was the faster fighter. But every time Burns threw a looping hook, Usman beat him to the punch with his jab, and he can jab with both arms. So that's an example of it. Yeah, of the theory behind Wing Chun. Yeah. We only throw straight punches.
Yeah. Connor's another one for his left jab, holding a lot of power.
It's his left, not his left jab, but his left straight. Yeah. Because he normally doesn't. He normally has a southpaw stance where his jabbing hands is right.
Yeah. So
he chucks that. Yeah, he does. He chucks that left, and he's got so much power. It's his left straight.
Yeah, you see when he's fighting people, he throws it at just the right time, just as one of their arms comes out for a really heavy punch. You know, if that was to hit him, it's going to do some damage. But then he seems to always get there, and he can do all the dodging that he needs to do. That's something I can't do either. The duck and weave. Never really practiced it.
Yeah, I've done a bit. I'm quite good. I'm not too bad at dodging punches, and I'm not too bad at getting them in. Depends who I go against. It depends on the caliber. Like I went against. I've gone against some people, and it just made me look stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think. Well, before I did my backing, my good quality was kicks. I used to do all different types of kicks because
you kicked me in it. I remember you kicking me in the head with a switch kick. I'm just going for a piss.
Probably. As always, pee bladder.
But yeah, you've done a kick where you fake low and then switched up and kicked me in the head.
Oh yeah, that was my. I used to do Kuksu One, the Korean martial art. That was my go-to for sparring, just because as soon as you throw a low front kick towards like the lower stomach, everyone throws both the hands down to block it, and then you can just flick the roundhouse up to the jaw. And obviously, because it was a touch sport that I was doing, I never had to get any power behind it, so I could keep my balance perfectly, and then obviously just clip the jaw, and then that would be that 2 points or whatever if it was in the sparring scene.
That's a kick, like you're saying, like Kuksu One, which nobody's probably ever heard of.
Yeah, they've probably not.
But that's quite a popular kick in MMA and kickboxing.
Yeah, I think it's quite common. You'll see it. It's just because it's so easy to fall for, because you can throw the front kick and still mean it. Like, so if you think they're going to block the roundhouse, you can just keep going with the front kick and have a low one to the stomach. And then if you see that both the hands come down to block it, or if you're using right foot and they block with the left and their head comes open, it's so quick to snap a foot up there. It's basically like a jab, because of how close you are already.
So you can see if you're at that level where you can like change your move to whichever way they're. Excuse me. If you're at that level where you can switch your kick from one to the other, because when I go in for a feint, I normally go in with the intention to do the second one. So say I was going to do a switch kick, I wouldn't. I'm purposely going to do that fake.
Yeah. It's like going through the motions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're at that level where you can like go for the kick, see they're not blocking it, and then boom, do it. That's quite a high level, I'd say.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't do it now. I can't kick above my waist anymore.
Because of the back.
Yeah, it's held me back on a lot of things. So, because I wanted to get into like white collar stuff. Obviously, this is like before Corona and before I did my back in. I was thinking like I was just like kind of like putting myself off, but I wanted to get into like white collar boxing and martial arts and picking it back up again in the sense that I was going to be fighting with full contact or with gloves and guards and whatever. But I wanted to actually like get into it and see what it's like. And obviously Corona hit, so I couldn't. And then I did my back in. However, I did that, and then it's now just a case of like I left it too late, didn't I? So
because you're back.
No, so now I just need to be a grandmaster in Wing Chun, and then I can just keep my legs down because they don't kick above the waist anyway. So
I don't think they did. Well, I think they give a blow to its tummy, don't they? They've got that front kick, haven't they?
Yeah, it's almost like a inside front kick, isn't it? It's kind of like it's basically like the hand strike, but with your foot instead.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, like I can't see myself doing martial arts again now unless everything clears up and they find a way to sort the bulge out. Give me like a bionic spine or something.
I like doing that front kick to face. I can do a front kick to face, man. I've got that.
When you get it like right, just under the nose or under the jaw.
The chin, yeah. I was quite good at getting that in at sparring. I had to force myself to do it light, because obviously I don't want to hurt my sparring partner.
Yeah. I guess for you probably have to be on tiptoes with the other foot as well, just so you can reach.
Well, it's normally, when they come down, normally, like people normally like hunch over, don't they? If they're keeping back like that, then obviously I'd have to use my hand. But when I catch him like over and they're putting the gloves near my gloves, then I can get it in.
Because you got little legs, so you can just fire it out.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because my legs are so midget, I can like get it in and
squeeze it in. That's brilliant.
Yeah, flexibility or dexterity or whatever you call it. I can get it in. And it's like imagine a palm to the chin. That's what it's like. But me, the ball.
Your toes. Picking the nose, yeah.
So miss it, all this Corona crap.
Get Tarek.
It sent me back a year, basically.
Train Tarek up and he can start kicking him in the face.
Well, yeah, I kick him in the face anyway.
Yeah. He's getting on for 6 now, isn't he?
He's only 5.5.
That's what I mean. He's getting on for 6. He's, it's not going to be long. Time flies, doesn't it?
At what point do you... I suppose, yeah, he's nearly 6, yeah. He's 6 months.
Yeah, I see myself as nearly 24, and I'm 24 in November. I've only been 23 for a few months.
Because you're 24 this year.
Yeah, and not only that, like, if you think about the past year that's gone, it's gone so fast. It's almost been a year since coronavirus was about. Like, you think this time next month, we were hearing about it. And it was, everyone over here was like, oh, no, we're not going to have a lockdown. It's not going to come to the UK.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks, yeah. In about 2 weeks, we was heading into lockdown, weren't we?
It was like the end of March, because, I was away with work at the end of March, so it was more, lockdown was like April.
All right, okay.
And it was around the time when it was almost like a laugh and a joke, and people were touching elbows instead of shaking hands and laughing about it, like, oh, I guess we got like kicking shoes and stuff. I'm saying that because I was literally doing that in work. We were like laughing about it, meeting people saying, oh, we're going to have to, we can't shake hands now, can we? And obviously now it's just like...
That's what Tarek were doing. He was going like elbow bump, because he was getting taught it in school.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It was weird at first seeing people with masks, wasn't it? Because not many people were wearing masks, but you got the odd one that fucking cottoned onto it early. So you see them take. I saw them. I saw like a dad or granddad, should I say, taking his kids to school when I'm dropping Tarek off, and there was like this one family wearing masks, and it's like, fucking hell, what are you doing, you weirdos? And
yeah, at first people were like embarrassed to do it. Like, obviously, when I was with my ex, wasn't an ex back then, we were meeting up during lockdown when we were allowed, and we brought masks, but we didn't end up wearing them. We just stayed 2 meters apart and stuff, and it was like because it was like a bit embarrassing to be going out wearing a mask,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But then obviously, then it became more mandatory, and it was like if you want to go in a shop, you have to wear it. It turns out this isn't just going to go away like a little virus, and it's obviously doing a lot more damage. And that was like May time or something. But it was at its peak.
Hey, in May time, Jesus Christ. No, that was in March, wasn't it? April. May time was I was well down me. I was basically locked down my plot all day. Not allowed to meet up with anyone.
Yeah, it all merges into one for me. I can't split up the months very well. A lot's happened though in like 2020. A lot happened.
Things I'm thankful for in 2020. I know we've digressed a little and we're not talking about UFC, but
it ended.
Thankful
for that.
I got to spend a lot of time with my son, but again, I didn't, because obviously he was off school as well, and I spent a lot of time down my allotment, so I got a lot started. I extended my chickens and did stuff that I wanted to do, and I'm like one of the few people that actually got a job.
Yeah, a lot of people were unemployed and couldn't find anything. I was put on furlough, wasn't I? So,
which got me into this camper. So it got me out. It got me into a bigger home instead of living out the back of living in the back of that transit. which was good for what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like you're not parked outside a house right now.
I'm parked outside my nan's house. I'm not going on like that. I think anybody that knows me well enough knows I'm parked outside my nan's house right now while Tarek's inside.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you know, we're sleeping. Me and Tarek, you know, we're sleeping in camper tonight.
It's good novelty. It's good if you can keep it up as well. Like hold the novelty, don't lose it. Because everything's exciting at first, but then it becomes a chore after a while. This
is the van life. What I call it, the van life, is been something I've been interested in for years. I like the idea. Well, here's what I don't like the idea of: having a home, like a house, where you don't like your neighbours, but you can't do anything about it because you're fucking stuck next to the cunts. And not only that, you're stuck in a job because you have to pay your rent, which is like normally 500 plus a month, normally. So that means you have to work. Unless you're a millionaire, you have to work. You can't just, you know, where else are you going to get £500 a month from? So these are things I don't like, being stuck down. I don't like that rigid thing. I like the fact that I don't like my neighbours. I can drive off somewhere. I can fuck off. I go to a park. I got my house with me. I can make myself a brew.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do see where you're coming from with that.
I don't have rent wise. Do you know what I mean? Once it's bought, it's bought. I've just got the bills of a car. If anything, they're cheaper because a camper's for some reason for me, my camper insurance is like a third basically of what my car insurance is. So it's there's no down. Well, there is a downside obviously, but it's got its own challenges. But overall, I feel that the challenge is worth facing because boom, I can live like this.
Yeah, I guess it's just what you do if the engine seizes and all of a sudden your camper's now a small flat in a car park. Because, you know.
Well, that's just it. The engine does see. Let's say something goes wrong with the engine because it is an old camper. Well, it's only got 40 odd miles on the clock. That's not a lot, really.
No, it's not. But then obviously it doesn't change the fact that all the seals are still 20 years old. What is it? It's 2000, isn't it?
25. 95 this camper is.
Okay, so you know it is getting on. It's 26 years old this year.
Sorry.
Yeah, so obviously it could engines, the seals and stuff, or the gaskets and stuff. It's like chances are they'll be fine because they've been pressed together for so long. But obviously it does happen when you start having issues. And also when you want to change one thing and you start breaking a seal, everything else wants to start going.
Well, yeah, there is that to it, yeah. But at the same time, even like yeah, like you say, even if it breaks down, I can still live in the back of it. But
Mm.
I'm more willing to spend money on this to fix it than I am, say, the Transit, because the Transit was only worth 1,200 tops. Like the van prices have gone up now, so let's call it its biggest value. 1,200 it's probably worth,
Yeah.
but it needed 600. It needed £600 worth of welding. Say just short like 270, just short of £300 worth in getting me alternator done.
Mm.
So
It's
that was
almost the value of the van, like, isn't it?
yeah. So it made sense, and the fact that I couldn't stand up in it, my bed was here, my toilet was here. Do you know what I mean? It was no separate room. It was.
If you can't stand up on it, it's saying something.
I could stand up in it. You know, when my
Yeah.
head tilted, it wasn't the biggest. It wasn't a high top. It was a low top, and I could stand up to have a pee, but I only had that much room width. I'm going on like I didn't have a lot of room basically. My bed was high, which I like, which is the same reason why I like this because my bedroom's high.
Yeah.
What I like about this, well, the same what I liked about the other one. I had a set bedroom where I didn't have to, turn it into a seating area during the day.
Yeah, it's a good way if you can do that, so you don't have to faff about. Because I remember when I'm staying in like the caravan when I was with my parents and stuff, we'd have one of the beds has to fold out, otherwise I'd be sleeping on the floor. So, and when you do that, it's like someone's going to be in the living area for when we're having breakfast. So if I wanted to have a lie in and I'm on that bed, I can't because people are going to be getting up, or vice versa if someone else is on that. So it's good to be able to have like separate sitting areas and sleeping areas,
It
fixed bed
definitely
sort of
is, yeah.
thing.
Because if I wake up first, I can jump. I mean, it's not the same the other way around, but I can jump down, leave Tarek in bed, make myself a brew, and just chill till he wakes up. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to wake him up. The other way around, it doesn't work because obviously he can't get down without my help. So
Well, it's
I'm
different though
not
because he's like 5, so he just as soon as he wakes up, he'll start kicking you and saying, "Wake up!"
slapping me in the face, Daddy, Daddy.
I'm gonna clip that.
So let's bring this to UFC.
Yeah, I think what we're 40 minutes in. We should probably get into
40
what
minutes of
the
chatting
clickbait
it
title.
shit. Everyone's like fucking all our millions of viewers are like tuning in for the UFC stuff, and we're just talking about living in vans. So let's talk about the Curtis Blaydes Derek Lewis fight. That's the main event.
Heavyweight. As far as my
Heavyweight.
notes go.
We don't. Yeah, we're not the biggest fans of heavyweight, are we? In
No,
general.
I wanted to talk about that. Just starting into it. Heavyweight. I think it's obviously they're good and very talented, but the fighting isn't as fun to watch. I don't think. I think because they're just on their feet and they're almost afraid of getting that one punch to the face because it is endgame with those guys in most cases. Like the amount of power they carry and the force they've got, it's very rare that you see it go to the floor. Or if it does, it's because it's ended. Have you frozen? Bit of a technical issue. Someone wasn't charging their phone.
Yes, we're experiencing technical difficulties at the moment.
But
I might.
go on. What?
I was going to say I might switch back once. I might switch back once my phone charges. Literally, the phone that I'm doing hotspot off died, so then my hotspot died, my internet died, so my laptop's still going. Like, what the fuck's going on? But the phone I was gagging off hotspots died. I don't know why. Why didn't I just link it up to this hotspot on this phone?
Because that'd be a smart thing to do. Right. Come on. We've been teasing the audience enough. What, like 40 minutes of the content? So do you want to just stay on your phone and we'll jump right into it where we left off?
So yeah,
Yeah.
am I in the middle? Is my camera in the middle?
Go a bit to your left.
My left or yours?
Yours. That's it. A bit to the right, just like half that. Yeah, that's the full amount. No, yeah, you're in the middle now. What? We're gonna have to do some editing here right now. Okay, where we left off was saying that heavyweight is obviously a very dangerous sport, but at the same time, it's yeah, it's not interesting as such. The fact, like the technique isn't as intricate to say. I don't want to be offending anyone saying that. That's my opinion on it.
No, I completely agree. I don't get excited about heavyweight bouts. In fact, the heavier we go, the less excited I get. Up until anything after, like, you know, lightweight 155. I mean, I get excited for Adesanya fights and stuff like that, but like I say, the heavier I go, the less excited I become about the fight.
I guess another thing to that is we're also more interested in stuff at our weight level as well. Like, you know, we want to be able to relate to it in a sense. That's the whole reason why you're watching is to relate to, and then you can decide more. Like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done that. Whether you can actually do it or not is irrelevant, you know. But you know, when it's the heavyweight and it's just like why they just stood there throwing punches and stuff like that. It's because that's what they have to do. Whereas watching the likes of Connor, obviously that's my go-to. You know, you can watch it, you can see where he goes wrong and how much versatility he's got to play with. Same
it's
with
not
Khabib.
just that. It's like the heavyweights. They don't have to rely on technique. They can rely on that one punch power.
Yeah, brute strength.
Whereas if you're not going to if you know you're not going to knock the opponent out in the first round, the second round, you have to rely on technique. You have to be a Max Holloway that's just going to, you know, that can do it for 5 rounds.
Yeah, just quickly, rotate your phone clockwise a little bit. I have a feeling you might be cut off on the recording. Yeah,
That way.
Yeah, that's a bit better, just like a tiny bit more. I think you'll be all right there. It's just because you were, yeah, that's basically dead center there. It's just because I don't want you to be like half cut off on your face. But carry on.
Well, my phone's just come back on now, so I might switch it back to the laptop. And it's plugged in. So hopefully it shouldn't die this time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's up to you.
Technology, yeah. So, yeah. You can, it's just a heavyweight's just not that, to me, exciting. To some people, it's more exciting because a one punch can change the game, can change the direction of the fight like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in a way, it can be more exciting, but also, for my opinion, personal opinion, for whatever it's worth, you know what I mean? It's just not that it's not that exciting. I don't get excited about it.
Yeah, I'm on your side with that one. It's just more. It's just better when they're a bit lighter and they actually have to. I don't want to say they have to work for it because I'm not saying heavyweight don't work, but you know they have to work for it in a sense of they have to be so tactical about it, and you know.
Yeah, you just need so much more technique, and you have to stay on the ball for longer. It's just, but anyway, regardless, heavyweight. We got the Curtis Blaydes against Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is 20 years before. I sent you that Joe Rogan interview, didn't I?
Yeah, my balls were hot. Oh.
He's just a class act, and I don't follow him on Instagram, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to now. I found out his Instagram's really funny.
His Instagram's probably similar to your Facebook.
Well, yeah, the amount of crap I share on there, yeah. So I'm definitely going to follow him on Instagram. Okay, do we think he's going to fight Curtis Blaydes? Now let me explain to you, because I don't think we've spoke about this. Curtis Blaydes has come out and said, well, I'm going to go against a heavyweight that hits really hard but doesn't know how to wrestle. So, of course, I don't... Do you know what I mean? If I lose this fight, I'm going to lose 100 grand. So, me entertaining the fans is not worth 100 grand to me. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to wrestle the guy and I'm going to wear him out and then I'm going to win, you know, that way. Now you have this knowledge. Who do you think's going to win, the heavy hitter or the wrestler?
Oh, it's tough to say, but if he's going to go in with the tactic of, you know, wearing him out over, you know, being like giving the fight, as you're saying, the spectators want, you know, he's obviously doing it for a reason. He's going to have more chance of winning that way. And to be honest, you know, he's got a point. Play to your strengths is the number one rule, isn't it? You've got to, you know, it's like you going into a fight and trying to throw heavy punches just because that's what people want to see.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, play to your strengths and play to your opponent's weaknesses. You got to exploit a weakness, and if he's not known for his Derek Lewis is not known for his wrestling, so yeah, he's probably gonna. If it becomes a wrestling match, he's probably gonna lose.
Yeah, who's your money on? If you were not literally, obviously.
My money would be on gun to me head. Not Derek Lewis. Curtis Blaydes.
Yeah. On the professional, he's 14-2. Derek's 24-7. So he's got a lot more fights under his belt, Derek. But as far as a win rate goes, Curtis seems to be a lot better. But then obviously that's just down to who you fight as well. It's not just.
And Curtis Blaydes is literally fucking cleaned out the heavyweight division. There's only like so many that he's not fought, and he's not fought Derek Lewis. So again, there is a chance he could lose this. He's not fought Derek Lewis before. He lost to Ngannou.
I don't know who that was.
So, sorry, that's an African name if I've not pronounced it right. And he's lost to somebody. Oh no, he's not. He's not fought Stipe, the actual champion. So, okay. You know, it's so there is a chance he could lose this. There is an actual real chance he could lose this. And you know, the more I research this fight and look at the fighters' backgrounds and stuff like that, the more I am actually excited for the fight. I'm pretty sure Curtis Blaydes is going to win, though.
Yeah, I would obviously, as everyone knows, I don't have the biggest input when it comes to UFC. I've not watched a lot of it, but if I was go based purely off the numbers, it's looking like he's on a bit more of a win streak.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, he could go either way.
Going off what you know, the heavyweight being you know, the thing about heavyweight is like that one punch can change the whole fight, and Derek Lewis hits with his heavyweight power. He's probably gonna knock him out. He got knocked out twice by Ngannou, and Ngannou's the same kind of fighter, you know, the one looking for that one punch knockout, and he's lost to Ngannou twice.
So it's basically a case of, can Derek get his one punch in before Curtis takes him to the floor? Exactly.
But I think if Curtis does take him to the floor, Derek Lewis is not going to get his one punch in. So it's one of them where I want to watch it. I want to see how it pans out.
Yeah, well,
it's getting me excited. When I first seen the fight, I was like, "Oh, two heavyweights, who gives a shit?" But then, like, the more I've thought about it and stuff like that, then it's like, yeah, I do want to actually see I do want to watch this, and I do want to see how it pans out.
Are you gonna give him a watch or not in the morning?
Yeah, definitely gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm you know, I'm a degenerate. I'm definitely gonna watch it. So if I had to make a prediction, do you want to make a prediction? Should we make a prediction just for a laugh? But you're gonna pick Curtis Blaydes the same as me.
Well, yeah, of course I'm gonna say Curtis Blaydes will wear him out for the first 2.5 rounds, and it's gonna be in the second round that he finishes things up. Is that bold?
Then.
I'm just guessing.
It's a 5-round fight, by the way. But I think because it's a main event.
Actually, to be fair, that was a terrible prediction. I should be saying that Curtis is going to be trying to wear him out over the 5 rounds to try and end it in the last. But I'll stick with it.
It's not the worst.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst prediction, to be fair. I'm just going just to make it interesting. I'm going to turn around and say Lewis is going to lose the first round, lose the second round, and Derek Lewis is going to knock him out in the third.
All right.
He's going to get that. He's going to get that 1-punch knockout in the third. Just to make it interesting. I don't really think that, but you know.
Well, you got to think your predictions. What do you actually think is going to happen then? Like, what is your genuine? What do you think?
Just to make it interesting, should we have a 20p bet on it?
£20.
20p.
P?
Yeah. I'm not a gambler, so you know. 20p.
Yeah, but you can drive it here, or you can come pick it up.
I'll fucking send you a fucking bank thing.
Bank transfer. For the sake of 20p. Yeah, we can throw. Wait, so you're saying take off the predictions. 20p. I'm saying Curtis. You're saying Derek.
Yeah.
Okay, sound. It's 20p.
It's just a friendly bet, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy a loaf of bread.
To make it interesting, you know, if we was on like hundreds and thousands of pounds a year, then obviously we could bet of like £100 or something. But obviously we're not, so you know, I'm homeless. You're homeless, really. You're only supported by your parents. So, you know, 20p is a lot of money to us.
You make it sound like I've not got a job.
So yeah,
no, that's sound.
20p, we'll go with that. I think Lewis. I'm just betting Lewis to be controversial.
Sounds good.
How I really think the fight's going to go. I think like pretty much what you said. I think Curtis Blaydes is going to utilize his wrestling. I don't think during this fight camp, Derek Lewis is going to be working on takedown defense, but I don't think that's going to hold up. I think Curtis Blaydes is going to take him down, utilize his ground and pound, and win that way. Anyway, enough of the main event. Let's talk about our main event.
Yeah. So everything
I just said about heavyweight not being exciting, and being shit, and the no technique. I'm gonna take all that back, and I'm gonna. We've got what's it called? You know, like the golden goose.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's it called now? We've got, like, you know, someone that doesn't follow the general rule. We've got the golden goose in the house. And I'm on about, obviously, you know, the one and only Tom Aspinall. And he's a really good boxer. I just watched his interview with Michael Bisping. And he turned around and he says, well, your dad's a black belt. Michael Bisping turns around to Tom and says, so your dad's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so how do you see the grappling going and stuff like that? And Tom's like, what's grappling? I swear I was laughing my head off. He's like, he wants to keep that a secret long, you know. He
of course.
A secret as long as he can. Because I suppose in his head, he wants to see people take him down. He wants people to say, like, he's winning all his knockouts, fights by knockout with punches. He probably wants to see people oh, this guy's grappling. Let's test his grappling.
Yeah, target his weakness, and it turns out his weakness is one of his
Strength.
greatest strengths. Yeah.
His dad is a doctor, a surgeon at jiu-jitsu.
And he teaches you, does he not?
I'm under. Yeah, that's my best jiu-jitsu was learned on. I've gone to other classes. Everyone goes to other classes, but my best jiu-jitsu was learned under Andy Aspinall, and that's his dad. That's Tom Aspinall's dad. I've come to Tom Aspinall's class, so I've been taught under Tom Aspinall, but his dad. I'd say, I don't know if he'd appreciate this or not. He'd probably love it because obviously he loves his dad. His dad's probably a much better teacher than Tom himself, from my opinion. From my opinion, what it's worth. I only went to the odd class with Tom Aspinall because his timing was plus he teaches mainly no gi, where I like the gi.
So you got something to grab.
Yeah, something to slow. When I'm when I'm fighting someone, when you no gi, you just slide. Everything's slider. Whereas when you're in gi,
you're all sweaty.
You can stick, you can grab, you can slow your opponent down, and 9 times out of 10, my opponent's bigger than me. In fact, 10 times out of 10, my opponent's bigger than me.
I was gonna say, unless you're fighting like kids.
Unless I'm fighting Tarek. And who's he fighting? I've not got my laptop on. Yeah, Andre Smith.
Arlovsky?
Yeah.
Arlovsky? I don't know how to pronounce it. But...
I don't know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know too much about his opponent. I'm pretty sure
more experienced.
He's got a lot more experience, but where he is in his career,
he could be coming to the end of it, more of a...
Yeah, and I think it's a good fight for Tom. He's only 3 fights. This will only be his 3rd fight in the UFC, and he didn't get many. He didn't get many at amateur because he was once he knocked out so many of them, nobody wanted to fight him. He has got 2 losses on his record. I don't know how he. But again, when I started following Tom and when I started getting trained under his dad, I watched a couple of fights where he was in something that wasn't UFC, either Cage Warriors or something like that, and he won his fight. But every time I've watched him, he's won his fight quite convincingly.
First round, sort of. Very quick video.
This guy's Tom Aspinall. I mean, I know I'm biased, but this Tom Aspinall is going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem for anyone he faces. And I do believe he's going to be world champion one day. I remember chatting to his dad, and he turned around and he says that he taught his kids martial arts because he just didn't want them to be afraid. Do you know what I mean? But Tom Aspinall's 6'6".
6'5". Yeah.
Is he 6'5" on there? He's 6 foot. He just said he was 6'6" on the Michael Bisping podcast. Believe you me.
Oh, on the video you sent with him against, is it Jake Collier?
Okay.
He was 6'5", weighing in at 248.
Okay. So yeah, so he's. I mean,
6'5", 6'6". It's an inch, isn't it? It's a lot for you, but not for much else.
A lot for yeah. When you're 6'6", yeah, an inch ain't much. I'm predicting a 1st round knockout, to be honest with you.
I think you've got to, considering his previous, you've got to have that sort of aspiration for him to follow through with another one.
The guy he's facing, he's got more experience, so he might try and drag it out.
Yeah, it depends on what he comes with and how. Because obviously, if he's been in the game a lot longer, he knows how to read an opponent a lot better. So we've got to see what he does with that.
But I'm predicting Tom Aspinall's. He's so good. His boxing's next level. His jiu-jitsu is next level. his wrestling. He's fell in love with wrestling over the last few years, and that's probably really come on. He's probably training under Mike Grundy. He's also a UFC fighter. He's like the best. He's like probably like one of the best wrestlers in England. So yeah, I can't see anywhere where Tom Aspinall can lose. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
As much as it sounds like sounds like I'm riding his dick, I can't see anywhere in the fight where Tom can lose. So
yeah. I guess you are on the biased party as well because personal contact. But
yeah, and yeah. Plus he's got like a yeah. I know I've gone when I've been training under his dad. Like my son's played with his son. They played hide and seek and that while we're training jiu-jitsu and stuff.
what?
Like, he's got a 5-year. He's got a 5-year-old. I've got a 5-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously that's not happened within the last year because of bloody COVID.
We'll try and have one podcast where we don't talk about. It's not going to happen though.
Honestly, let me just. I've got the wife messaging me here. Sorry.
That's all right. We'll just all sit here waiting for you. Don't worry about it.
She's put, "Do you want me to bring your tea out to you?" I'm like, "No." And then I ignored the question because I'm up on a pod. Just on a pod. I'll come in when finish. Right, I've spelt that wrong. Come on, pisshead. Just on a pod. I'll come in when finish.
We'll wrap it up shortly as well.
Love
I've got food waiting. Oh, you got to do that.
Well, yeah, I've got food waiting, but how long we rocking?
With the technical issue, I stopped the recording before and then restarted it now, so we're well over an hour. Maybe not well over, like hour 5, hour 6, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
We're at the point we spoke about. Well, the main fight that obviously you're anticipating, Tom Aspinall. Good luck to him. And we'll chat tomorrow with the results. We'll see how it goes.
Well, yeah, we'll watch it tonight. Yeah, and see what's going on tomorrow. I'm pretty confident Tom Aspinall is going to win. I'm pretty sure you're thinking the same. You're not going to disagree with me there, are you?
I've not seen the other guy fight though, to be fair, so I can't say. But in the sense of from what Tom has done, from what you sent me, I've never seen him lose. That being said, so but no, I'd be quietly confident just from what you've told me that Tom's going to take it.
So yeah, they're the main 2 fights I want to see. I don't want to disrespect anyone else on the card, but I don't give a shit about anyone else on the card.
It's funny that just a minute ago you're saying you don't care about bloody heavyweight, and then we speak about 2 heavyweight ones. You're like, I don't care about that.
Yeah, my most anticipated fights are heavyweight. As a general rule, that's the one. This is what I'm trying to explain. This is what I was trying to explain before. As a general rule, I'm not really keen on the heavyweight fights. But there's always exceptions to the rule. Tom Aspinall is definitely an exception to the rule. His skill level's like next level. And yeah, he's a funny guy. I recommend you watch him on Michael Bisping's. If you watch him on Michael Bisping's Believe You Me podcast, he's funny. I was in tears laughing. But what we never got down to was so what is the best martial art? Are we going with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Is none of the rest in discussion?
Well,
or do we agree on Japanese Jiu-Jitsu because it includes everything?
I think the conclusion for me would be it depends on who is learning it. I think the best martial art differs between people. I don't think you can just choose one that would work for all.
So let's look at yeah, I think you're right there, but let's look at the positives and negatives for each one.
And also, are we talking for a sport or for self-defense? Because it's entirely different.
Yeah, right. This is where I completely did. I'm going to go against what you just said. I was with you then. Yes, you have got when you. So what's the difference between sport and street?
Street, there can be more than one other person, as you're saying. They won't stop if you get kicked in the knackers. There's no ref to break it up when you're a second away from being choked out or once you tap. It's all the standard stuff. There's no regulations in place. Someone can throw a brick to the back of your head while you're facing 3 other people in front of you.
Right, my
argument
is, say you're practicing, because I do a Temi Jitsu, and I've done Wing Chun, obviously. And a Temi Jitsu does cover a lot of, defend yourself against a knife attack, defend yourself against, you're at a cash machine, and somebody sticks a knife in your back. Does gun attacks and stuff like that. And you put yourself in these situations with a plastic gun, a plastic knife. Yeah. And you've got to defend yourself. But I think the only ones you can practice, I think the most effective, my opinion, the most effective martial arts are the ones you can practice at full power.
Yeah.
Because you practicing them at full power.
Have you heard of Master Wong? Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you.
I've heard of fucking Master Wong. Yeah, what a dickhead. Go on.
Don't say that. He's good. He's funny.
I'm not saying he's not funny.
But the stuff he does as well, I think it's got technique to it, and it's. I'd say it's legitimate. I'd say it would work.
But he's like Wing Chun, isn't he?
Oh, he is Wing Chun, yeah. But the Wing Chun he does isn't what you learn in the classroom. It's not just the traditional stuff, but it uses the fundamentals of the traditional, and then it gives it that explosive power it needs and the aggression that you need in any fight to win. I just thought I'd bring that up because I think that's where it comes down to. The martial art is only as good as the person. So
yeah,
you can't really choose the best martial art because he could beat a lot of people. Like let's say your typical jiu-jitsu fighter, if they're in a class, they're not going to beat a master of a different martial art, but that doesn't mean that martial art's better or worse. So,
but here's another thing. I think Brazilian jiu-jitsu is the best one for the street, to a degree. Obviously, I think boxing is best for the street. But you get a boxer against jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu guy's always going to win. But I don't think jiu-jitsu is the best for MMA anymore.
Do you know? I'm shocked by that. I thought you were all for it with MMA.
It was the best for MMA, but the thing about MMA is everyone's a black belt. So what jiu-jitsu is, in my eyes, like let me try and get this analogy right. What Brazilian jiu-jitsu is a big bag of tricks. Okay. Now, once everybody knows that big bag of tricks, then you can't surprise anybody anymore.
Yeah,
whereas
I see what you mean.
But for the street, the average person is not going to know high level jiu-jitsu. But any blue belt, which is the second ranking belt on the jiu-jitsu thing, any blue belt can probably beat anyone on the street.
Yeah.
Given
you're talking like typical, not someone with prior training.
Yeah. Even as soon as it goes to the ground, anyone that's not trained in jiu-jitsu is going to lose. They're going to lose. They're going to lose to the jiu-jitsu guy because they don't know the tricks. They don't know the tricks. They don't know. they're going to put their arm out to stop them coming. If the jiu-jitsu guy's on top, they're going to push him off. As soon as you push him off, you're going to get armbarred. Do you know what I mean? As soon as you get on top, you're going to get triangle choked. You can get armbarred from underneath. You can be on top and lose. And you're not going to know about guard. You're not going to know about guard passing. You're not going to know about... And these are things you're going to get... The jiu-jitsu guy is going to manipulate you to where he wants you. And then your only hope is that you're going to land a decent punch and knock him out.
Or your mate can come from behind and help you out.
But you're not going to know about back defense. You're not going to know about guard retention. You're not going to know how to pass his guard. You're not even going to know to pass his guard. So you're going to be sat there in the jiu-jitsu guy's guard. And this is if you're if you're strong, if you're bigger than the guy and you're strong and you're on top. I'd almost say, I mean, you're going to get girls that will beat blokes because they don't know the bag of tricks.
I mean, let's keep things equal.
That's not far-fetched. That's not far-fetched.
I could see it happening.
I get beat up in my jiu-jitsu class. I get tapped by girls.
You get what?
I get tapped by girls. Like I have to tap out. And
anyway,
I'm I'm quite strong. You know what I mean? I mean,
you're not small, to be fair. You've definitely done your bits.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I weigh what? I'm walking around now at 67 kg, and I can bet. Well, before lockdown, I could bench 150. I could deadlift 200.
Yeah.
So these are like double my body weight or more.
What's your height? Like actual number? Because obviously 67 kg, it would be considered really light for some people. But then obviously 4'11", is it, or 5?
5 foot nothing.
5 foot nothing. At a stretch.
On my tiptoes.
when you spike your hair up.
With the quiff.
But no.
But yeah. I mean, that is really, really light. That's what I'm saying. There's many girls heavier than me. And if they know jiu-jitsu and they're skilled at jiu-jitsu, there's a strong possibility they'll kill me.
You'd probably let them. Anything for some physical touch.
I know, yeah. When I'm in there, there's an old joke in the jiu-jitsu community. Like, you see a girl and you're like, I won't mind being in her triangle choke. Because the minge is right there. But
we always get sour towards the end of these calls. I think the last one we had, I'm pretty sure you finished on a note similar to that.
Well, I think all the feminists are going to love this one, the ending of this one. Yeah, so the minge is just right there. But yeah, there's like in my class, there's two jiu-jitsu girls, and they can both beat me. Even though I'm stronger, I'm pretty much guessing I'm stronger. But their techniques. This is just a whole. Technique. Doesn't matter how strong you are. Technique's going to beat you. And I think I sent you that video one time, didn't I, where that bodybuilder went into a jiu-jitsu school and a girl choked him out. He was unconscious.
He was huge as well.
And he was huge.
Muscles on muscles.
You can go on YouTube and, girls beat blokes at jiu-jitsu and you'll find hundreds of videos. It's hard to find a video where, we started off Wing Chun. Well, to be fair, I was Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. Well, I was boxing in my teens, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu in my 20s, and obviously Wing Chun in my 20s. Well, obviously in my 20s. So, young Wing Chun for 2 years. And then that's when I got into MMA after that. And we've known each other. How many years have we known each other now, man?
3. Just a bit more.
Is that all it is, 3?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to work it out. Like, when I started Wing Chun, I was with my first girlfriend. This is how I remember things for date-wise, like time-wise. I was with my first one, then I ended with her, and I got
I
with
was my first girlfriend.
yeah, and then I got with my next one, and I was with her for 2 years, and you knew me before I got with her, and that's been ended now for about half a year or something. So I would be saying around 3 years.
Yeah, I remember you. Is that your second girlfriend?
Yeah, I've been long term, haven't I? So first girlfriend at 16, I was with her for like 4.5 years.
I
And
remember
then
when you got with her.
you remember when I got with the second one, not the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about, yeah.
But yeah,
And then you broke up. I was like, no, where you been with her for a while?
it was just short of like 2 years, I think. But some things aren't meant to be, you know. That's why I'm on Tinder.
Now I'm on Tinder. Now they call me Daddy Mac on Tinder. Yeah, I've been with my bitch fucking 27 years.
It's a long time.
That's fucking 7 years too long.
You know, you're lucky that if she's ever to watch these, she'd never watch through past an hour. She won't watch past 5 minutes, probably. So.
Well, yeah.
She'll never get this far. Just everyone leaving the comments.
If any of her mates do watch past fucking my swearing, man. If any of her mates do watch past 5 minutes, they'll be sending the clips like, watch this till the end. He called you the B word.
Hey, there's no such thing as like, what is it? Bad. What's the word?
Bad words, like swearing.
No, when you get views and people are watching and like, it doesn't matter if they're saying bad things or good things, it's still.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Angel. I can't think of that word myself.
That frustrates me because I hear it all the time.
There's no such thing as a bad view.
There's a word for it.
A bad interaction. Because they're gonna, if they dislike it, it still bumps you out. If they comment on it because they don't like it, it still bumps you out. So fuck you, feminists.
I'm not with him on that one.
You fucking man-hating minge monsters.
Right. On that note.
Yeah, but I'm only joking. Like true feminists don't man haters. They just want the equal rights shit.
Yeah, the cause that it goes for, we agree with, but then you get the some that take it too far, which you do with any sort of movement. Yeah,
you get your extremists. I can say that word.
You can say that. Have we actually explained on like camera and stuff that you're actually Muslim? Because obviously you don't really look it.
Fucking racist bastard.
Do you not remember, right? A little bit of a story time before we finish up. Obviously, I'd known you for, I think it was like a good few weeks before we ended up talking outside of Wing Chun, and you told me that your name wasn't actually Lee, it was Mohammed, and I thought you were having me on, and I made you get your driving license out to prove it. So there's no way in hell that you're Mohammed. You're whiter than me.
I won't go that far, but yeah, I'm definitely not the brownest of Muslims. If you go off an average statistic, depending what time of the year it is, I definitely go browner in the summer. Like if you met me mum, if you met me mum, do you know what I mean? She's like brown as out.
Yeah. So I'm guessing your dad's English.
Dad's yeah. But here's the weird thing: I don't even know my real dad. You know what I mean? I'm a what do you call it? Like my mum wasn't.
Godless?
Like my mum,
I don't know.
Yeah, I am fatherless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry.
What did you just say then? Did you just call me a fatherless Muslim prick or something then?
I had to get out. threats we're building.
It just came up that you cancelled your mic for like half a second.
Right. But yeah, been a good chat. I think we've done good on the time.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we're gonna have to edit the video together.
Yeah, I'll grab some food, and then obviously you can get Tarek, and then we'll jump on a call again. We'll put it together, and then get it uploaded tonight. And we'll have a call tomorrow, so we'll see you all tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, let's get it uploaded before the Tom Aspinall fight.
And let's see who wins this 20p as well.
Aspinall. Right, go on then. I'll let you get going, and we're gonna do a review tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
95%
yet.
We've never done 2 shows in a week before.
I know, we've not done 2 shows in a fortnight before.
So you're gonna pinky promise?
Yeah. Oh.
Aye!
Right. See you later.
Right then, have a good night. I'll talk to you later. I love you.
Yeah, nah.
Peace.